Welcome back to AG Chelsea TV, your go-to home for the hottest and most exciting updates on the Blues. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest content. Bayern confirms deal for Nicolas Jackson. Bayern Munich sporting director Max Eberl has admitted Chelsea striker Nicolas Jackson is a player they would like to sign on loan. Jackson fell down the pecking order at Stamford Bridge following the summer arrivals of Liam Delap from Ipswich Town and João Pedro from Brighton. The Senegal international was suspended for the season opener against Crystal Palace, then failed to make Enzo Maresca's squad for the following trip to West Ham United. Meanwhile, Pedro has scored once and provided 2 assists, whilst Delap has featured in both games. Chelsea are, therefore, allowing Jackson to leave and are still waiting for him to do so before they can press ahead with the desires to recruit Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons before next Monday's deadline. Thankfully for the Blues, European rivals Bayern may oblige to help them in this effort. The German champions contested a DFB Pokal first-round tie with third-tier side Wehen Wiesbaden on Wednesday night. Sporting director Eberl was in attendance and was questioned by broadcaster ZDF his plans for the final days of the transfer window. "If we find a player who is physically ready, who can score goals and make assists, who already has experience, we would be happy to loan that player," he responded. The reporter followed up asking the Bayern chief if Jackson meets that criteria. Eberl replied, "When I read his CV, he can do it." Whether Bayern would be amenable to including a purchase obligation or option in any potential loan deal is unclear at this stage. For Chelsea, a permanent sale would be preferable, but this would be a temporary means to an end with little time left in the market. The urgency to part ways with Jackson does not come down to financial fair play, but the Blues standing against UEFA's strict cost-balancing enforcement after Chelsea breached spending rules last season. Christopher Nkunku close to AC Milan. Christopher Nkunku has almost reached an agreement with AC Milan on a 5-year contract according to reports. Nkunku is one of a number of players Chelsea are looking to move on before the end of the transfer window, and several clubs have shown interest. The 27-year-old was strongly linked with Bayern Munich and a return to RB Leipzig, but it appears he could have found a new club. With the clock ticking down until the deadline, Italian giants AC Milan have now jumped to the front of the queue for the Frenchman. Milan are reportedly confident they can agree a deal for Nkunku, whilst it's been said it would be a permanent transfer, and journalist Santi Aouna has shared an update. He took to X.com and said, "Contractual agreement nearly reached between Christopher Nkunku and AC Milan. Contract until June 2030, ACM is preparing an offer between 30 and 40 million euros. Nkunku has had a difficult time at Stamford Bridge following his £52 million move from RB Leipzig in the summer of 2023, and injuries have played a big part in that. The France international managed just 3 Premier League goals in 27 league appearances last season, and looked really lost at times on the pitch. A fresh start in a World Cup year, and playing regular football is what Nkunku needs if he's going to make the France squad next summer. With Nkunku moving closer to the exit door, it means Chelsea should finally be able to push ahead and close out a deal for Xavi Simons. Simons has patiently been waiting for Chelsea for a number of weeks now, and the 22-year-old has turned down interest from other clubs. The Blues need to move on Nkunku and Nicolas Jackson first, which now looks likely to happen, and an agreement with Leipzig should be imminent. The German side is said to want a total package of £60 million, but it remains to be seen what the final fee will end up being. Chelsea receive another offer from Saudi Arabia. Since being taken over by Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital, Chelsea have done a lot of transfer business with clubs in Saudi Arabia. For example, earlier in the summer, Chelsea sold João Felix to Al Nassr in a £43.7 million deal. The Chelsea Chronicle understands that Cristiano Ronaldo played a part in Felix's transfer to the Saudi Pro League side. Before that, the Blues also sold Angelo Gabriel to the same club, while Kalidou Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy joined Al Hilal and Al Ahly respectively in 2023. Another Chelsea player is now wanted in Saudi Arabia. Axel Disasi is attracting a lot of interest in the final days of the transfer window, including from the Saudi Pro League. According to Foot Mercato, Neom are preparing to make an offer to sign Disasi from Chelsea. As well as Neom, Bournemouth and Wolverhampton Wanderers are also thought to be keen on the central defender. The reliable Fabrizio Romano recently reported that Bournemouth are actually confident about signing Disasi. The 27-year-old is surplus to requirements at Chelsea and spent the second half of last season out on loan at Aston Villa. However, he did not do enough to convince the Villains to sign him permanently. Bournemouth and Wolves cannot offer Disasi the same kind of money that Neon can, but the two Premier League clubs still look to have an advantage over the Saudi Pro League outfit. Foot Mercato's report claims that the Frenchman has no interest in a move to Saudi Arabia this summer. One of Chelsea's own targets, Alejandro Garnacho, is not keen on a switch to Saudi Arabia either, so money is clearly not everything for some footballers. For the sake of his career, though, it is important that Disasi does leave Stamford Bridge this summer. Under Enzo Maresca, the France international will not see the pitch. Chelsea set Alejandro Garnacho agreement. Chelsea are now considered close to an agreement for the permanent transfer of Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho has not played for United since last season's Europa League final in May, after which a frustrated outburst over his substitute role appeared to mark the start of this long-running saga. He, along with other members of the so-called bomb squad, didn't participate in pre-season and has been left out of all three matchday squads in the early weeks of 2025-26. Chelsea initially showed interest in Garnacho in January, but that has resurfaced this summer, following other links to Napoli and the Saudi Pro League. With the transfer deadline looming, The Guardian writes that talks between Chelsea and Manchester United look set to reach a compromise over the asking price. Garnacho had been valued at £50 million, but a deal could now happen for £35 million to £40 million. As a wide forward, the Argentina international is viewed as a greater priority for the Blues than number 10 target Xavi Simons, who is also now wanted by Tottenham Hotspur following long-term injury to James Maddison and the failure to sign Eberechi Ez. And while The Guardian report adds that Chelsea are confident a Garnacho deal can be concluded without first offloading out of favour duo Nicolas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku, The Times notes that AC Milan are expected to step up talks to sign the latter. Meanwhile, Jackson's agent recently teased that a decision on the striker's future is pretty imminent. That's all for today from AG Chelsea TV. Thanks for watching, Blues fans. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you'll always be the first to catch the latest Chelsea news and updates. See you in the next video.